right, I waited the obligatory 20 seconds to make sure this goes up. I thought I'd just go ahead and make a real quick, I always say that, live stream. Hello, everyone. Today is the 22nd of May, 2023. I'm Roy Potter. Welcome as you come in. In the description box below is an interview by Judge Napolitano with Colonel Douglas McGregor that I think is worthwhile to listen to if you haven't already. It's not really anything new as far as what's going on with this whole Ukrainian business. The lies being told by the Western media and governments as opposed to the reality on the ground. That's all there, and of course, the Colonel talks about that information. But the thing that got my attention more than anything else was an admission he made. Now, I'm calling it an admission, almost not a revelation, but a confirmation. And I don't know if the Colonel meant to take it this far or not, but I want to point out something that he said. First of all, we know that the whole thing in Ukraine is about pushing the rules-based order run principally by the United States government, the corporation of the United States. Not talking about rights, not talking about, sorry, I got to block the sun here. Not talking about the protection of people, but the forcing of this rules-based order where basically the United States doesn't rule the world by law, but by its own whims, and that can change from time to time, and of course the rest of the world is objecting to that. He brings that up. So did Garland Nixon this morning, by the way, if you heard him. Garland did an excellent job, and you need to go see his situation this morning. I tweeted it out that he pulls the curtain back on all of this. Garland Nixon does a very good job. But Colonel McGregor said all those things and then something more. I better make sure that I cover this part. Of course, it's the money laundering that's been going on in Ukraine for so long, for the benefit of the upper classes, especially the politicians and the military-industrial complex, the intelligence complex, etc. By the way, I might mention in passing that even if Congress took away the funding or reduced the funding for the IC, particularly the FBI and or the DOJ, those organizations have backup, or actually principal cash-making businesses on the side, both legitimate and illegitimate, including drug trafficking, of course, human trafficking, things like that. So if the government, if the House could cut funding for these different organizations, especially the IC and the FBI, etc., which I include in the IC, they have their own way of funding themselves now because nobody has held them accountable. It's like I said, about the only thing that can stop this at this point is for a foreign nation to take down these goons that are running this government. But that's another story. Okay, let me get to what really got me when Colonel McGregor was talking this morning. He's absolutely right. He said it kind of in passing, but I really think that's right. So I've already talked about the rules-based order effort. The United States wants to run the world and dictate to everybody else. Number two, the banking situation. I've just talked about that, the finances. And then something else he said. Our U.S. government at present, and it has been this way for quite some time, it's just they've had to move slowly to get everybody on board in one way or another because of hate speech, and of course for you've got to be diverse and you've got to be accepting and tolerant. You see where I'm going with this, right? This is what Colonel Douglas McGregor said this morning. He said, one of the major reasons why the United States is doing what they're doing is because they are trying to force, listen to this, and I'm going to use phonetic alphabet here so that I can say it without causing myself some grief. They are trying to force the Lima, Golf, Bravo, Tango, Quebec, ... et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is now a hell of a long list, onto the rest of the world. He actually said that, which is absolutely true, because the evil wants to reproduce itself just like anything else. This was an incredible statement that he made. Absolutely incredible statement, because I've talked for a long time that there is an unseen force in the world today. You can call it the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call it, that stands counter to the natural order and wants to destroy it, especially the man-woman relationship, like I've said for a long time. And that particular system, for lack of a better term, is called Baphomet worship. If you like, Molech worship goes along with that. They kind of go hand in hand. So in other words, the United States is the purveyor, even according to Colonel Douglas McGregor, of forcing an evil, diabolical, destructive system upon the world. And if they won't accept it, as I've said many, many times, again, this is about their power, but their power is also defined by pushing this agenda against the natural order of men and women. They would rather destroy everything than lose power or even fail. I wanted to bring that up this morning because that's exactly. People ask me, why, Roy, why do you always talk about this one subject? Because it's the crux of the matter. It's the destruction of mankind, the destruction of man and woman. I told you about the song 20 in the year 2525 several videos back. I told you to go listen to it. So this has been on the program for a long time, and a lot of people have understood this. I won't say any more about it today, but I think I'm vindicated once again. I wish I had my cup that says, as I suspected, I was right all along. This is not just about the banking system. This is not just about, and when they say the rules-based order, it's not just about the United States dictating everything. One of the big things that they're dictating around the world is that nations that want their assistance or want to be part of this thing, whatever this U.S. corporation and the IC is doing, you have to accept these degenerate, evil lifestyles. Not just know that they exist, but you have to promote, foment, demand that people not just allow it, but get involved. We've seen it really bad here in the last little while. Looks like it'll be okay with that down. The last little while with all these corporations jumping on this bandwagon. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Supposedly increase their bottom line? No. Again, 95 to 99% of the population of the world is going to be expected to bow down to a 1% of degeneracy or misidentification. What that's called in military terms is that's reinforcing failure, not success. Why are they doing that? Because the destruction of mankind, including the reduction of the population, with everything else we see going on, and I could name all those here, but then this video will probably get attacked more than for what I've already said. All of that is to take it down. I'm still laughing at the fact that they say CO2 is a poisonous gas. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's the ignorant population, especially in the West. I don't even think the African nations fall for this baloney. All right, that's all I had for you. I was just very, very surprised that Colonel McGregor would say that. He's been at the top. He knows what these people are about and what they want. He's seen it up close, eye to eye, the whites of their eyes. Just thought I'd leave that with you this morning. Keep your eyes on the horizon, your ears to the ground, situational awareness on high, prep, pray, stay out of the way. But of course, self-defense is always legitimate, but know that they'll come after you if you try to do that, especially if you're in a blue state or city. All right, just be aware of that. All right, I won't take up any more of your time this morning. but I had to pass that ahead. Nah, I'm not going to shave. You tell the SEALs and the special ops guys and the cops that run around these days to go shave, right? They're not even doing it. I kind of like it. Like I said, I trimmed up everything else because I'm done with my project, but I thought I'd keep this. I'm still going to probably trim this up a little bit. It kind of makes me look like I have jaws, there, so I might trim that up just a little bit, but I'm going to keep these as well, at least for now. All right, that's all I got for you. Have a good day. Out for now.